Nerd Reactor, roll out.
What's up, Reactorites? I'm John.
I'm Bob.
And we just came out of watching The Hitman's Bodyguard, starring Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. And the story is just pretty much, Ryan Reynolds, he's the bodyguard. Samuel L. Jackson, he's the hitman. Two different types of people coming together, trying to get along.
Samuel L. Jackson's character is about to testify against international bad guy. So
Gary Oldman!
Yeah, Gary Oldman sends people after him, which then results in Ryan Reynolds having to protect them. What I thought, though, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. It was fast-paced. It was fun. There was times where, where I saw my leg was shaking, and then I could feel John's leg was also shaking.
Was my leg shaking?
Yeah, near the end.
Is that what you pay attention to when watching a movie?
Yeah, like, you like to see people's reactions.
Yeah.
The people next to us were laughing out loud. We laughed out loud. It's a lot of fun.
And a lot of popcorn. I ate a lot of popcorn and drank a lot of drinks. So I was holding the Coke in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds. This is kind of like two odd pairings. It just reminds me of movies like
it does.
Rush Hour, like
Rush
you mentioned,
Hour, yeah.
And also movies like Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Nights.
So any kind of buddy cop, except think of like John Wick. If John Wick was a buddy cop movie, with a lot more cussing.
Not really buddy cops, because these guys, one's a hitman, one's a bodyguard. And the interesting dynamic is Ryan Reynolds, he's the bodyguard, and he's trying to protect Samuel L. Jackson's character, but Samuel, he can take care of himself, and he doesn't need him there. But they're just like forced to stick together just because of the circumstances.
And what I thought was pretty cool is there was this underlying romantic undertone between both characters with their partner.
Oh yeah,
that played a huge part in the development of the characters, which was surprising to actually see character development, because usually in action movies you don't see a lot of that.
Oh yeah, especially with this one, you get to understand Samuel Jackson's character and Ryan. They really have a moment where they get to talk about their stuff, and you really start to just care about what they're going through, and you're rooting for them. Yeah. Both of them together.
Yeah, even more so. What I thought was cool was there's these scenes in there that are really reminiscent of Kingsman, where they're in the church scene in Kingsman, if you've seen it, that are just really awesome, like one-shot scenes that they do in this film a couple times, a few times, I guess I should say, and they're fantastic. And Salma Hayek, if you're a Salma Hayek fan, she is hilarious.
For the small parts that she has, she's really funny. And
she makes them count.
she makes them count.
Yeah.
And Samuel L. Jackson fans, this is a rated R film, so there's a lot of motherfucker, a lot of F-bombs.
I think I stopped counting after like 7. So there's a lot. Overall, though, it was a hell of a ride. There was a couple sitting next to me, a guy and a girl, and she was laughing just as much as he was. So I definitely would not say this is a male-driven film. There was also the other female lead who you're not a fan of.
Yeah, Elodie Young. I wasn't a big fan of her in
Daredevil
as Elektra, and so that's just how I feel about it.
See, I wasn't a fan of her either in Daredevil, but I didn't recognize her from that, so I actually enjoyed her character until after John was like, "No, I don't like her because she was, Elektra in Daredevil." So I
love the character of Elektra though.
Yeah, in the comics. So
just not a fan of the actress's work.
In my opinion, I thought all the characters were pretty awesome. Gary Oldman was great, but I think he probably had the smallest role of the main characters.
Yeah. And it's Gary Oldman just plays like the typical bad guy,
bad guy. There was a lot of memorable scenes. I think that I don't know exactly if the movie's quotable, but it's still really fun. I can't wait to see it on Blu-ray again. Check out the action scenes. But it's definitely a rewatchable film, and I do recommend seeing it.
Yeah. So I also recommend watching it. And when you mentioned the action scenes, it just reminds me of like the one-shot stuff from John Wick, or even John Wick 2 or Atomic Blonde. It's not as crazy as those films, but like it caught me by surprise for this type of movie.
Yeah.
And it makes me excited for Daredevil, not Daredevil, but
Defenders?
Deadpool 2, because that film is being directed by the guy that did Atomic Blonde. And Ryan Reynolds here, like, he gets some really cool scenes, one-on-one against like the bad guys, one shots, like really long takes.
one thing I guess worth mentioning about that, since you mention it, Samuel L. Jackson generally will play the same character in most films that aren't Star Wars, and he's really good at playing Samuel L. Jackson. That's why you go see it.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is really good at playing Van Wilder, Deadpool, and most of the characters that he's kind of been in most films. But every once in a while, he has a film where he takes a completely different direction. This wasn't completely different direction, but he wasn't the cocky know-it-all that we're used to seeing him in films, which I still love.
Yeah.
But he was a more of a high-strung, straight-laced, still comedic guy, which made his character even more likable because the opposing differences or just between him and Samuel L. Jackson's character made it more fun.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely recommended. And so once the movie comes out, let us know what you thought of the movie. With that said, I'm John.
And I'm Bob.
And we'll see you guys next time.